Hello. I have some very, very good news for you today. Those of you who are keen viewers will remember that a year or so ago, I mentioned that I would be studying a course in marine surveying. Well, got something here. This is my certificate, this is my diploma. This is to certify that Lorna Jane Tooley has undertaken a professional development course and been awarded a diploma at merit in small craft surveying with a specialism in inland waterways and canal craft. Thank you to everybody that wished me good luck and asked how I was getting on. I really enjoyed the course. I'm really glad that it's finished now. But yeah, it was so good. I learned so many good things. It wasn't all plain sailing. So if you would like to hear more about my experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly, continue watching to the end of this video. If not, if you just wanted to know if I passed or not, I did, so you can start watching now. But if you do want to hear a little bit more, the rest of this video will be a more in-depth review of the course and my experience of it. But I think as it was a canal-based qualification, maybe we should continue this conversation down by the canal. Come on. Found the canal. I don't think that there is a better place to be. For those of you who didn't see my original video where I was talking about the diploma, or for those that just need a recap, it was a 12-month fully online diploma through Lloyd's Maritime Academy and accredited by North Kent College. And there aren't loads of institutes offering that qualification. There was one other one that I was interested in, but the reason I went with Lloyd's, firstly because of the name, they've got a good reputation, but more importantly was the entry requirements. The other place that I was looking at needed A-levels, which I don't have, and Lloyd's allowed you to just enroll as long as you could sort of assure them that you would be able to cope with the level of the course and the time commitment. And the other thing that really appealed to me about the course with Lloyd's was that you can go straight on to study a master's after you've completed the 12-month diploma. I just want to caveat this and say that this is all my own experience, and you have to understand that I was studying the course during COVID, so things weren't as they normally would be. There were a lot of issues with short staff at the college, and perhaps that is one of the reasons that my perspective is skewed in the way that it is. So the course was fully online. What happened was every month a new module would be released, which you downloaded, studied at your own pace. Although there were suggested deadlines for the essays, there was only one actual deadline, which was at the end of the 12 months. Now, when I signed up for the course, they said that there would be 4 essays of about 2,000 words each, and that sounded pretty manageable to me. However, after the course had already begun, they told us that because of the accreditation, we would need to do an extra essay, and that essay would be 3,000 words rather than 2,000. So that did annoy me, to be honest. So the reason that it was all designed to be online is so people can study at their own pace. There might have been delegates that were away working at sea, limited access to internet connection, different working hours, things like that. However, just from my own personal perspective, that style of studying didn't really suit me. I'm not a very self-motivated person. I'm not very organised. I'm not good with long deadlines. I work a lot better when things are more urgent and need to get done quickly. And I think that I would have benefited more from either a classroom environment or even some sort of online lessons with more regular deadlines and more regular feedback. That being said, I did make an effort at the start. I downloaded all of the materials, I read them, I did extra reading, and I was really enjoying it. I was very slow getting started on my first essay, and then partway into the course there was a problem with the online login. It said that my password had expired and I needed to reset it. However, it wouldn't allow me to reset it, and that was the start of where things went a little bit sour. So after I was locked out of the online system, I sent emails, I sent online forms, I phoned people trying to get my password reset and my access restored to the course website. And this went on for a good 2, nearly 3 months. And to be honest, at one point I was starting to wonder whether it was a scam and the course didn't actually exist. I had done research obviously and read reviews and whatnot, but that was how it was starting to feel for me. After that had been going on for a few months, I kind of resigned myself that I wasn't going to get back on the course, I wasn't going to be able to finish it. But then, a few days before Christmas, I got an email from the course director saying that my access had been restored. So that really threw me as well, because I'd kind of mentally given up on the course and lost interest, and then suddenly it was, back on the cards. But being so close to Christmas, I didn't really take a proper look at it until closer to the new year, and then that meant that I had 12 months worth of essays and more reading to do in only 4 months, because the course finished in April. And to be honest, I really didn't know if I was going to be able to do it in that time. So I did ask them for an extension, and I thought it would be reasonable for that extension to equal the same amount of time that I was locked out of the course website, so 2, possibly 3 months. However, I didn't get any response to my request for an extension, and this was something that was echoed by a number of other delegates on the course. We had an online forum which we could use for discussion amongst each other, and we could ask questions to the tutors. However, they were very slow at responding to messages on the forum. I know that there were some COVID issues. I appreciate that, I sympathise with that. However, it also wasn't fair on the students who had paid a hefty amount of money to study the course. And I think when it became apparent that so many people were having issues with lack of response, lack of access to the website, other things that would warrant a valid reason for an extension, perhaps they should have looked at changing the structure of the course or offering some sort of extension to everybody. But because I'd come so close to not finishing the course and then kind of had a lifeline thrown at me, I thought that I would just really work my arse off for the 4 months and try and get as much work done as possible. And I really did. I was reading in every spare minute that I had, on my breaks at work, on the train. I was just reading and just getting the essays done. They weren't done to the standard that I would have liked them to be done at. I could have done better, and you can kind of see that in the results that I got. They were very mixed. One of them I was really disappointed in the mark. One of them I was very impressed. I got a really good mark for it, and the others were good. And I can say, I had to rush them, and if I'd had more time I could have done better work, which is true. But also I know myself well enough to know that even if I hadn't been locked out of the course, I still would have been leaving everything to the last minute and rushing to get it done. So I don't actually think it would have been any different. I was a bit disappointed with how slowly the essays were marked, because I wanted to get feedback from each one before starting the next one, so that I could, keep improving and do something a little bit better. But they were very slow to get back with the grades, and I was rapidly running out of time. I just got a first draft done of everything, and then submitted them one by one and tried to wait for results to come back and make slight improvements, although it wasn't possible to do that with all of them. And then 2 days before the course finished, and I was so stressed, pulling my hair out, thinking I was going to have to do an all-nighter to get it finished, the last one, which was the long one, like the big heavy mark one. And 2 days before the deadline, the course director came back and said, yeah, you can have a 1 month extension. I was a bit pissed off, to be honest, because they had taken my access away for over 2 months and were only offering me 1 month back in return. However, I couldn't be bothered with an appeals process, and I had almost finished it. So the sensible thing would have been to put it in for the deadline, or maybe take the month and really work hard and get the work finished. Instead, what I did was I ignored it until the final day of the deadline. Had another mad panic then, rushed and put it in on the very last day, which really just reinforces what I was saying, that even if I hadn't had all of the stumbling blocks along the way, I still would have been super late getting everything ready. Since getting the results, I am a little bit disappointed in myself because I wasn't far off getting a distinction, but I'm happy enough with the merit. I just wanted to pass, really. But yeah, that's one of the things that annoys me about myself, is that I know I'm capable of doing so much more. I'm just really lazy. So I don't get results that I'm capable of, but I get results that I deserve based on the effort that I put in, which is never very much. But despite all the moaning that I've done, I did really enjoy it. I learned so much. I spent hours and hours reading things that weren't even relevant for the essays, but you know, you just fall down these little rabbit holes of learning about one thing, and then you want to learn about the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And it was so nice to like engage my brain in something and put things down on paper. I haven't done any formal education since I left school at 16, which was nearly 20 years ago. So yeah, it was really nice. It did like reignite something in me, like a love of learning. And I'm not sure that I want to do any formal study again anytime soon. I was at one point really determined that I was going to do the masters, and now because of the experience I'm not so sure, so I think I'm going to take a year at least off and just kind of reassess things and think, why would I want to do it and what would I be getting out of it. However, something that was really interesting very early on in the course, one of the things that they said to us was that we were going to be studying a surveyor's course, but probably at the end of it, or possibly at the end of it, we would decide that we don't want to be a surveyor. And I think that might be true for me. I would still like to get some practical experience and learn more about the role. But what I really appreciated from the course was that we learnt so much about the maritime industry as a whole, and they taught us lots of business skills and so many different things, not just about surveying. It's given me so many ideas of things that I might like to do in the future, both boat related, non-boat related and semi-boat related. But I think the thing that was really good for me was that I did manage to make the sacrifices and put that time commitment in and do the work. I always get so shy about talking about my own successes, but I'm damn proud of myself. I think I did really well. It wasn't easy at all. Some people may have found it easy, but I didn't. I found it a struggle and it was very much not in my comfort zone, and some of these things were completely alien to me, and I didn't know if I would be good enough, and I didn't know if I would get the grades, but I did it and I learned so much, and I want to learn so much more. And I think it's kind of given me that reassurance that I can complete projects if I put the work in and I've got enough desire to do it. So, and you know, nothing's definite, but there's a few things that I'd like to explore. I'd like to spend more time out on the water. I want to get my helmsman qualification so I could maybe do some professional boat skippering. And I think I would like to explore the possibility of getting into teaching people to drive boats formally. As you know, it's something that I've done a lot for my friends, and I really enjoy it, and I think I'm quite good at it. So yeah, that's something I'd like to look into more. Kind of away from that, I want to really put more effort into my YouTube. I've been watching lots of my old videos and they were so bad, and massive thank you to anyone who's been watching from the start. And I've just really enjoyed doing them and getting better at them. Even this, like, you notice most of my videos are just me doing a voiceover because I am a really shy person, and sitting out in the middle of the city just talking into a camera, it's not something that comes naturally to me, and it's not something that I enjoy, but I'm getting better at it and I want to get even better at it. It's something that just brings me so much happiness, and I hope that it brings other people a little bit of happiness as well. So it's something that I know I can get better at, and I want to try to get better at, and I hope that you'll be patient with me as I do try to do that. I'd love to make a short film. I'd love to write a book. Like, it's something that I've always wanted to do for my whole life, and I have the ability to do it. I know that, but I've never had the commitment and the organisation to do it, and I'm hoping that that might change now that I know that I can sit down for hours every week putting words onto paper. Like, how much easier would it be if I'm putting down words that I actually want to be talking about? And now that I've said it out loud, I think that makes me accountable, and I have to at least try. But yeah, anyway, for now, that's enough of my rambling. Thanks for listening this far. I am going to go and explore a bit more of Amsterdam. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye.